programs to make phone service available to the poor.
You are a texter, and by now, who really isn't? You may soon be rethinking the next time you press send, because sending a text could end up costing you an extra tax. The California Public Utilities Commission is floating around the idea to add a surcharge for text messages. This would help fund programs that give low-income residents access to cell phones. Our Angelica Leilani joining us live in the studio with local reaction. Angelica?
Well, it's not clear how much the texting tax would be or how it would be collected, but those I spoke with say that they work hard to pay for their unlimited texting services and say that it's unfair to get taxed more.
Are you really shocked by this? California now trying to tax one of the most common means of communication that Americans use day to day?
They want to tax text messages, which Americans send more than 1 trillion of per year.
Is this taxing gone too far? Joining us now to weigh in is the host of the Mike Slater Show, the aptly named Mike Slater. Mike, where will it end in California?
Oof. Guys, I have never seen a more greedy group of people in all my life than California Democrats. They work tirelessly to come up with new ways to take all of your money. That'll never stop. And we actually have a supermajority of Democrats in California right now. So they have a supermajority in the House, the State House, and the State Assembly. They actually had a supermajority in 2014, but 3 Senate Democrats got arrested in 3 separate incidents, so they lost it. But now they got it back again. So there's no one who can stop this in Sacramento. There's no Republican, no voice of sanity that will stop this. It will never end. And the worst part about this, sorry guys, I'm fired up about this. The worst thing about this tax is how it hurts the poor the most, right? I can afford another $10 a month or whatever it's going to be. I'd rather not, but I can afford it. I'm going to be able to eat, right? But there's millions of people in California where this amount of money is going to break their back. It's hard enough to live here. So what annoys me the most is these Democrats still proclaim themselves to be champions of the poor. That's what ticks me off the most.
So many details not known as of yet, how much the tax will be, how they're even going to go about trying to collect these taxes. But they have the audacity to suggest possibly going back and making it retroactive back to texts from 5 years ago. That's insanity as far as I can see.
This is the worst part about it. It's the precedent it's set. So it's one thing to raise a tax and increase it next year. It's another thing to start a new tax and say, hey, we're going to impose it on the year that was. But as you mentioned, this proposal is 5 years retroactive. So they're not only going to start taxing text messages, they're going to tax texts from 2013. Now, Gavin Newsom, our new governor, he's going to raise property taxes. That's the one, not horribly oppressive tax in California. So that's the new precedent. He's now going to raise property taxes from 5 years ago. We're going to owe back taxes from 5 years ago. That's what's dangerous about this.
Real quick, we've reached out to the CPUC, the state authorities out there. We haven't heard back, but we've got 30 seconds, Mike. Where does this go? I mean, I think what also frustrates people, if they were raising the taxes to sort of pay off the debt and do something positive, but they're probably just going to spend more money.
Yeah.
Oh, this will increase the debt. So what's going to happen is they're going to project how much money this is going to bring in, let's say $50 million a year. They're going to spend it right away. And then more people are going to use iMessage and WhatsApp, which isn't taxed the same. But the governments are going to have spent the money. So now we're going to be in a bigger deficit, and they're going to have to come up with new taxes, find new things to tax. It will never stop here in California. Never.
Nothing is sacred, Mike, not even my text messages.
No. You should write a book about that.
I should.
Or our plastic straws, right? As you mentioned before.